Welcome, everyone. Today, we delve into something deeply unsettling, a force that underpins our global reality yet remains largely invisible. This isn't a conspiracy theory you can simply grasp or walk away from. We are here to explore the equilibrium and its most chilling manifestation, the waritual. You might believe you understand war, or that you comprehend ritual. But what if we told you that the very space in which they operate is indiscernible? That war isn't merely about conflict, and ritual isn't just about ceremony. The sources reveal that they are, in fact, the same impulse, viewed from different angles of a structure that fundamentally has no outside. This is the very core of the waritual. It's not a synthesis of two distinct elements, but a profound contamination, a plague where the sacred doesn't elevate violence, nor does violence desacralize the sacred. They simply are. The equilibrium, the sources explain, is not something we created, but something we become. It's not a concept we grasp. Rather, it thinks us. Consider it a fundamental condition, a machinery that was always already in place, waiting not for us to discover it, but for us to become it, to allow it to think, speak, and even kill through us. We are not its creators, but its secretaries, taking dictation from a void that meticulously organizes abundance around absence and plenty around emptiness. This isn't about human intent. It's about a gravitational field that curves all thought and language into its event horizon, where meaning itself collapses into pure function. This systemic equilibrium doesn't just maintain a static balance, it actively manifests through the systematic production of nightmares. Every war, every genocide, every engineered famine you witness is not a failure of the system, but its perfect expression. Its most intimate self-portrait. The equilibrium is asphalous, headless, driven by forces beyond any possible mastery. Those who plan, command, or execute these events are not its operators, but merely its components, its temporary personifications. This machine doesn't represent, it produces. It doesn't yield symbols, but material effects, the hunger, the exhaustion, the terror. These are effects produced by the machine, circulating through a global body. This process operates through what the sources term an ecology of elimination. It is a systematic arrangement of populations, resources, and territories designed to produce abundance in one location through the precise production of scarcity in another. This is not a zero-sum game, but a negative-sum game, where losses invariably exceed gains, and surplus is always already deficit. Even global challenges like the climate catastrophe or biodiversity crisis are not accidents. They are products of the equilibrium's continuous operation. The machine doesn't merely exploit natural resources, it produces the very naturalness of those resources, their availability for exploitation. Paradoxically, the system thrives not just through brute force, but through the production of consent to that force. Compassion, humanitarian concern, the very idea of protection, these are not suppressed, but captured, transformed into productive forces. Each humanitarian crisis generates its own pornography. Images of suffering that circulate, generating the affective charge required to justify further intervention. The genocide isn't secret, it's televised. The famine isn't hidden, it's documented. Yet, this intense visibility is not transparency, it is opacity itself. The more we see the effects, the less we discern the machine that produces them. The equilibrium hides in plain sight, concealing itself through revelation. This is why the sources insist. There is no conspiracy, because there is no outside to the equilibrium from which a conspiracy could be organized. The system is driven not by a secret cabal, but by the impersonal logic of its own functioning. Politicians, generals, bankers, they are not masters, but symptoms, temporary crystallizations of this logic. This equilibrium isn't controlled, it's self-regulating, a cybernetic entity producing its own feedback loops and adaptive responses. It operates not through hidden plots, but through consensus, the shared assumption that the current distribution of life and death is natural, inevitable, and necessary. This consensus is not imposed, it is produced through the machine's own operation. Ultimately, the equilibrium is not external to us. It is internal. It operates through us, thinks through us, and lives through us. We are not merely its victims, we are its vectors, its producers. Yet, even within this inherent complicity, there lies a profound form of resistance, the resistance of inoperativity. When we cease to function as seamless components of this machine, when we become useless to its operation, the equilibrium begins to stutter, to hesitate, to fail. This isn't its destruction, but its transformation. The equilibrium will continue, the disaster will continue, and the question persists.